in the night, your heart fills with dread. Probably a murderer who wants you dead. It could be a ghost, a demon, or worse. Perhaps you're the victim of a witch's curse. It's hopeless, you're doomed. You'd call a priest if you could. You'd rather just listen to who? Sinisterhood.
Welcome to another edition of Freaky Friday, where we tell your odd but true stories. It is Friday, August 1st, barreling into month 8.
First day of August. Woo!
It's the first of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month.
What month? I guess every month was what they were talking about because it's payday.
It's payday, baby. It's
one specific month.
And a Friday, it's a sweet day for like when you get like payday drop in on the 1st. And it's like that way the money comes and then the rent takes out. That does suck. But at least you get to see the high balance for a minute.
You get to see it for a second and then you're like, bye-bye.
That's South Park meme. And it's gone. And I was like, that's every month with them bills, as Destiny's Child saying, pay them telephone bills.
Yeah, reunited for the last show of her tour in Houston.
That's what I heard. Beyonce brought him on stage, and then there's been threats to potentially arrest Beyonce for some donations she made. So someone said, if you arrest Beyonce, you're going to have 99 problems, and Jay-Z is going to be all of them. So good luck with that.
As are her fans.
The Beehive is going to be.
As the Beehive gathers.
We are united.
Who'd she donate to that people are pissed about?
I believe she made a DNC or a Kamala donation, and the current distract from the Epstein files is like, maybe we should have.
Why is anyone surprised by that? They're openly Democrats.
And she performed at the thing as well, but I think it's, just another, please don't look at those files. Stop it.
Just
anything.
Brief tangent.
Please.
I had to stop myself. And normally I don't stop myself from reading things because I'm like, this is going to fuck you up, but you still want to know about it, so keep reading. I can't with that. Like, I started to learn some information that I didn't know about from the files.
No,
specifics.
Depositions
and I was
and
like,
stuff?
nope. No.
Nah.
It's some of the most nasty fucking shit that just keeps me up at night. Like, it's so dark and gross that everyone that's on that list. I saw a meme that was like, I don't care if Bob Ross, Mr. Rogers, and Jesus are on the list.
And Pedro Pascal.
To release it. And I'm like, yes, we all, like, if you don't, everyone just fills in the blanks with their minds anyways of who's on it. So just, like, answer some questions and string them up by their nutsacks. Every single person that was there, dude.
100%. Whoever it was, like someone said, oh my gosh, what if Bill Clinton's on the list? Well, I'll have to get rid of my Bill Clinton flag and my Bill Clinton t-shirt and my Bill Clinton Bible and my Bill Clinton shoes and my Bill Clinton watch. And it's like, oh wait, I don't have any of that because I'm not an insane person.
No,
so I, like a regular person, would go, oh, I would like for him to go to jail, please. Like all of them.
If I found out Obama was on it, I'd be like, well, that sucks, but peace out, buddy. I liked you when I didn't know.
Exactly. Nice knowing you. I don't know if it was a satire account, but it was purporting to be a breaking news that there was a photo of Obama and Epstein eating food together in Thailand. And it was just a really low-res picture of Obama with Anthony Bourdain. And people were like, that's actually Anthony Bourdain.
Yo, don't besmirch Anthony Bourdain's name. Rest in peace.
Dude, speaking of rest in peace, man, goddamn, that dude, still a celebrity death that gets me for sure. For sure. What taught everybody to be world travelers, open-hearted, like enjoy a beer where you go, and like just
Tommy loves him. In fact, just the other day he was talking about showing Ella some of his travel series because they're so educational and just also she likes to cook and know about food, and it's a great way to learn about that.
If Bourdain goes too hard, there's always Rick Steves. That's very family friendly.
Yeah.
It's a good travel show.
We'll have or Tommy, I was thinking you were there the other night when he made this joke, but it was my family. And I think it was called Tommy's Taste or Taste of Tommy. It devolved quickly. And I was
Taste
like,
of Tommy?
No one is going to subscribe to this. It's his cooking show. It's his YouTube cooking show that does not exist. But if it ever needs to, we have a lot of bits for it.
I'm ready for some. Taste of Tommy is really great.
I don't know for sure, but I bet it's taken already. I bet we're like 30 down the list of people that want that. that web name.
That it's taken on OnlyFans, but I don't know about YouTube. I think Taste of Tommy on the Not Safe for Work subreddit, that username is taken. But maybe you could get it on a YouTube cookie.
Maybe. Now, a lot of people are going to be disappointed when they tune in and it's him making chicken enchiladas. But yeah. What can you do?
Man, we like binging with Babish on YouTube. So he doesn't even show his face most of the time. It's just his hands. He makes food from like movies and TV shows. So he'll make like the 30 Rock, like the pizza jammer or whatever, where it's like you take a hot dog, put it in some jack cheese, that kind of stuff. So do it, man. Taste. People want to taste a taste of Tommy.
I'm married to him and I don't like the name. So I'm sorry for anybody else that it made feel weird.
And if it's making your mouth water, follow that feeling and subscribe as soon as it drops. We'll let you know.
You know what? Subscribe to us and we'll funnel you there eventually when it drops. So first, just subscribe to us
on YouTube. Yeah, for sure. Again, trying to get that spike number, that 30K.
30K, y'all. I don't think we've hit 10 yet. So
it's this close, though.
We're very close. Go subscribe right now, and soon we will be past Jeff and Shalea because they are not allowed to have more YouTube subscribers than us.
No, we got to get them. But in the meantime, you've amassed quite a compendium of stories today.
What a nice word. Yes. Thank you to everybody that sent in these weird, wacky, crazy tales. And if you hear a little tip-tapping in the background, the girls are really on one right now.
It's the call of the guineas.
The call of the guineas. They get excited with the Freaky Friday stories. They're all sat over there just staring at me waiting for them.
And if they start tap dancing, just let it invigorate you. Just feel the
like,
guinea invigoration.
A soundscape. Like
exactly.
Some podcasts have sound effects, so we do too now.
Exactly. Ours is live in studio.
They are. Oh, it's on cue. A little nibble, nibble, nibble. They got some fresh toilet paper rolls today, so
they're getting
big day.
Rowdy.
Well, I'm Christy.
I'm Heather.
And let's get freaky. This first one is from Jenny, and it's called Hotel Stories. Hello, co-host. On episode 104, you mentioned hotel stories. I was a front office manager in hotels across the U.S. for 5 years, and I have too many stories to count. But here are a few of my more wild ones. First off, I worked overnights for most of my career, so you constantly experience weird and crazy things. We all have at least one unhoused person's story or a guest who just seemed off. Like one time, I had a man come up to the locked glass door and slam a hatchet against the glass trying to get in. Or the time a guy ran up and down the streets of Seattle completely naked and out of his mind on drugs. I also worked in a luxury hotel in New York City, where we had celebrities, dignitaries, politicians, and every flavor of rich people you can imagine. There are 3 stories that really stick out. The first one, the time a half-naked man destroyed my lobby. It was late on a Saturday night, maybe 11 p.m. to midnight. We usually wait to lock the doors until after midnight on weekends to allow guests time to come in and for arrivals to show up. But we have security stationed by the door as we were in a major downtown area. This particular evening, the security was short-staffed, and so they were not by the door. But they also didn't lock the doors. From the wall of windows behind our front desk, I see a large, half-naked man running through the driveway right to our front door. I immediately call security, and they say they will check it out. I wait for a few minutes, no security. And by this time, the man is trying to get inside, so I call again. We're coming, he impatiently grumbled at me. Like, dude, there's literally a man on drugs with no shirt or shoes trying to enter the building. Don't get sassy with me. In the time it takes them to get there, the man has not only entered the building, but is running around the lobby. My restaurant manager is there trying to keep guests away and get them upstairs. I am getting my employees out of the way and into the back office, and he is just serpentine running around, screaming, knocking over everything in sight. Security finally shows up, but they aren't allowed to touch anyone, and he is not leaving. So they call the off-duty police officer who patrols the block at night. He shows up, and they try to corral the man, the officer actually tackling him. The smack of that man's belly hitting the tile and the frantic corralling would have been hilarious if the situation hadn't been so stressful and dangerous. But the man got back up. The real police arrived, and they could not hold on to this greased pig of a man. They pepper sprayed him, tackled him, knocked him with a nightstick, and he would not go down or stop running. Finally, one of the security guys I'm friends with shows up, and he starts slowly approaching the guy and talking to him. He asks his name and what he's doing there. The guy says he doesn't know. He took some cocaine, and now he's here. I think it was more than cocaine, but all right. And he just wants a cigarette. The security guard pulls out a pack and says, well, if you come outside with me, I'll give you one. Finally, the guy agrees to go outside, and the police finally arrest him. And I spent the rest of the night picking things up and writing emails and incident reports. Despite how stressful it was at the time, my memory of 5 grown men trying to hold on to this guy definitely has the Benny Hill music underneath. The second story, the time a man overdosed right in front of me. At one property, we had a large parking garage attached by elevators to our lobby. A lot of the unhoused people or drug dealers would use it because it wasn't as frequently patrolled. One night, these 3 men come up out of the elevator. One of them begins to have a seizure, and the other 2 take off running out the front door. My security comes and starts doing mouth-to-mouth as the man has stopped breathing. It took about 10 minutes for the ambulance to get there, and this young man never stopped trying to revive the guy. By the time they arrived, he was DOA, and I watched it happen. Turns out he had been doing drugs with the other 2 men, and when he overdosed, knowing they would get in trouble, they ran off leaving him there to die. It's still one of the saddest things I've ever witnessed. My final story is that one most people probably have heard about. I worked at the hotel in New York City where Sean Diddy Combs was arrested. We were there that night working when the FBI arrived. We weren't allowed to give out any information about guests, but they had a warrant, so we told them what room he was in and gave them access to the floor. Someone must have tipped him off because Diddy went into the emergency stairwell to escape, not realizing you can't actually get out of those without a key card or without going all the way to the lobby. The FBI stormed the stairwell and lower lobby, and they finally apprehended him. We weren't allowed to talk about it or let anyone know at the time per our privacy policies and the FBI. But when the trial happened, they named our hotel, and we had reporters standing outside for a week. So there are some of my wilder hotel stories, though there are many more. Thanks for all you do. Keep it creepy, Jenny.
I imagine working in a hotel, and I'm married to a person who did. It's like a different what fresh hell every night.
It's a literal revolving door of you don't know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
First of all, this guy running loose. When somebody is running and you're like, okay, the cops will get him now. Okay, they're going to get him now. Okay, now this time you're like, he's unstoppable.
He's on methamphetamines.
Yeah,
is what it sounds like.
I took a little cocaine and then I ended up here. Like she said, I think it was probably something laced with something. You know, you think you're taking a bump of something.
Yeah,
and God knows.
I mean, people, and knowingly, like, meth is one of those drugs that's known, like, you just are literally, like, you could have a dozen police officers tasing you and you're just, like, standing there. And then,
just like Angel dust.
Yeah. Yeah, like some
like
or
bath
salts or some shit.
God damn.
Yeah. Well, it, like you said, if it wasn't so dangerous, it would have been comical to watch all of these men try and apprehend this man. Although I will say, another good example of, and although he was a security guard, he just shows up and tries talking to the guy.
Like, let me do a little bit. Let me not do brute force, but I'm gonna I'll ease him out. I'm gonna coax him out. It's like, you don't chase the dog. It's running off. Stop and offer it a little sausage and see what happens. And the cigarette sausage seemed to work. But yeah, as you're watching it and you're like Daryl from The Office, like, we're the ones that got to clean that up. Like, it's all fun and games. Everybody be running around knocking over vases and chairs and shit. But like, I have to literally go pick that all up and write down what all got smashed and order new ones. And so hopefully he got whatever treatment he needed somewhere. But it's like, please don't bull in a china shop in my workplace where I'm going to have to clean this up.
Bull on drugs.
Right?
Yeah. It's speaking of drugs, so very sad to watch that happen. And the 2 that ran off, may you be having the day you deserve.
Yeah. But
it's not uncommon, though. People, I mean, you know, they're probably not your best friends to begin with. They're unsavory characters. And when shit goes south, it's every person for their own.
Yeah, and treating drug use instead of like a medical condition, like a crime, and going, well, we got to run, we're going to get arrested. Versus, we can stay and all get whatever help we all need together. But
I don't think they were thinking that.
Well, I don't think that they would get that. They would get arrested. Is what I'm saying. Is like the system sort of set up to scare you off. So shout out to the security guard for doing mouth to mouth, like running out there, and like that's what you do when you are a first responder.
Perhaps no one had asked him, hey, what is happening right now? And then somebody finally did. He's like, I don't even know what I'm doing. You like, it snaps you out of it kind of.
Right. You're like, I just ran to do it. But, and then working the Diddy job, like that's when the FBI comes in and is like, you will tell us where this high profile guest is. It's like, yes, I will.
I thought he turned himself in New York.
I thought they were willing to turn him in, but he was apprehended in a hotel lobby. There's footage of it when they came to get him.
So for some reason, I was thinking he went and turned himself in. Maybe he was going to, and then
I don't know. It didn't do it.
Sounds like if somebody tipped him off, he wasn't planning on going if he hadn't saying it.
Not today. I'll turn myself in eventually. I have things to do, though. But yeah, he's just like, I'm going to run down these stairs. I'm glad to see that even celebrity sex peddlers or whatever he is, whatever you want to call him, as what he got convicted of, even they are just as silly as people in movies going, oh, it's like, I'll run down the stairs. Yeah. No, can't get out.
You won't, because the buildings are made how they're made, even for you.
For sure.
Well, Jenny,
thank you, Jenny,
if you've got more stories, we love to hear them. Every time somebody sends in a hotel or any place where you're working the overnight shift, wild stuff. And kudos to everyone that you do that, because it's not for the faint of heart.
For sure. Sinisterhood will be right back.
This episode is brought to you by IQBAR, our exclusive snack sponsor. IQBAR is the better-for-you plant protein-based snacks made with brain-boosting nutrients to refuel, nourish, and satisfy hunger without the sugar crash.
IQBAR's plant-based protein bars are fucking delicious, first of all, but they're also, God, we both love them, but they're also made with high-quality ingredients. That's why, to support both body and brain, they're completely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, artificial sweeteners, making them a clean, natural snack you can feel good about anytime with 9 delicious flavors like mint chocolate chip, I love you when I dream of you, chocolate sea salt, banana nut, also saved my life the other day, that banana nut, toasted coconut chip, lemon blueberry, peanut butter chip. There's something for every craving.
With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are starting their days on the right foot with IQBAR's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. My family was over the other day. A shipment from IQBAR had arrived, and I was opening it, and I opened it not knowing what it was, and I go, oh, fuck yeah. And they're like, what's that? And I was like, Heather and I love these IQBARs. And then I opened them and divvied them out amongst my family, and they all got to take some home.
That's so kind, because I would have lied and been like, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Just leave me. Last time we had bars, there was like 2 left in the house before my new shipment came in. And Paris was like, are there any IQ bars? And I was like, no. The 2 remaining have been spoken for by me. I am saving them for myself. I had allocated them. That's how much we love them.
I also had not tried the
juices.
lemonade and tea hydration mix. And immediately I was like, babe, will you go make me one of these? Also great. I'm trying to get my hydration up, and it makes just water taste better. I mean, great. And it hydrates you even more than just drinking water.
And I've had their mushroom coffees too. They're also very good. It's I love it. They everything they make is good. And right now, IQBAR is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQBAR products. Plus, get free shipping. To get your 20% off, text CREEPY to 64,000. Text CREEPY to 64000.
That's CREEPY to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. Well, this next one's from Caitlin, and it's called The Basement Apartment. Hi, ladies. First things first. I love y'all so much. I'm a longtime fan and just had to say how much your podcast means to me. I've had the absolute joy of seeing you live, not just once, but twice. I caught you in Raleigh with my husband and again in DC with my girlfriends, and both shows were incredible. You're hilarious, brilliant, and somehow managed to make even the creepiest stories feel like comfort content. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you, Caitlin. Now on to my story. I was searching for a room to rent when I stumbled upon an ad for a basement apartment. listed by an older couple in their late 70s. The description was warm and welcoming. The couple, it said, were down to earth and enjoyed quiet evenings, the occasional shared dinner, or even a game of Texas Hold'em. Intrigued, I reached out. From the first message, they seemed incredibly sweet, good-natured, kind, and genuinely interested in getting to know me. We made arrangements for me to visit the apartment that Wednesday afternoon after work. As I pulled into the driveway, the house looked mostly like the photos in the ad, but something felt off. The yard was wildly overgrown. Weeds twisted up through the cracks in the walkway, and tall grass brushed against my ankles like reaching fingers. I paused to double-check the address. Yes, this was the place. Still, I continued up the path, curiosity outweighing hesitation. When I reached the porch, the atmosphere shifted. It was clean, even charming, decorated with potted plants, a gently swaying porch swing draped in cheerful throw pillows, and a worn but friendly, always welcome here doormat. The contrast between the porch and the jungle-like yard was striking. I thought, maybe I could help them with the yard if this pans out. Before I could knock, the door opened, and Miss Betty greeted me with a wide smile and what looked like pure joy in her eyes. Come in, she said warmly, ushering me inside. As we stepped into the kitchen, she mentioned their last tenant had also been a young woman studying to become a teacher at ASU, just like me. The kitchen was spotless, practically gleaming. The windowsill was lined with cheerful tchotchkes, and even the dish soap bottle wore a tiny crocheted dress. So it doesn't slip out of my hands, Miss Betty said with a giggle, catching me admiring it. She offered me a Diet Dr. Pepper, my favorite. That caught me off guard. How did she know? But it was sealed, so I accepted it, though a little uneasily. I'm naturally cautious. Just then, Mr. Paul appeared from the hallway, arms outstretched for a hug. I quickly extended my hand for a shake instead. He didn't seem offended, just smiled and took it. We sat at the breakfast nook and exchanged small talk. Where was I from? How was school? Did I have any family nearby? The usual questions. As we chatted, Miss Betty stood up and pulled 3 covered plates from the oven. I thought you might be hungry, she said sweetly. Each plate was carefully set in front of us, but when she lifted the covers, my stomach turned. The food was gray. The vegetables were limp, colorless, and unidentifiable. Miss Betty and Mr. Paul immediately began eating. Fast, ravenous, almost animalistic. I stared at the plate. Thinking quickly, I lied. Oh, I wish I'd known. I just grabbed something on the way over. I'm stuffed. Well then, clear your plate, honey, Miss Betty said, still smiling. I stood to scrape the untouched food into the trash, but Mr. Paul barked, Not there! That goes in the compost. He pointed to a small bin on the counter. I hesitated. The bin looked foul. It was brimming with a sludge of rotting scraps, and was that meat? You're not supposed to compost meat, I thought. Feeling increasingly uneasy, I complied, then quickly wiped my hands on a napkin. Now, Miss Betty said with a grin that didn't quite reach her eyes, want to see the basement? Of course, I replied, though suddenly my voice felt distant in my own ears. Their smiles had changed, no longer warm and inviting, but shadowed by something else, something eager, something desperate. Their eyes flickered like a light dimming behind a curtain. A chill traced down my spine. Of course, I said, again, trying to stay calm, but would it be all right if we went in from the outside? Since I'd be using that entrance day to day, I'd love to see how it feels. Mr. Paul's face lit up with what I can only describe as excitement. Oh, there's only one entrance, he said slowly. It's right here in the house. It was in that moment that my instincts screamed. I turned, grabbed my purse, and ran. They called after me, shouted questions, begged me to stay, but as old as they were, they couldn't keep up. I didn't look back. I just got in my car and drove. For a while, I tried to forget about it. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe it was just a weird vibe. But then, weeks later, I saw the news. Paul and Betty had been arrested. They were being charged with luring young women into their, quote, basement apartment listed for rent. Once inside, the women were never seen again. Authorities alleged Paul and Betty killed them, then cooked and served them to the next potential renter. I sat frozen, nauseated, that gray meat on the plate, the way they'd eaten it, the compost bin. Plot twist! This was all a dream. No joke. The whole thing, from the ad to the dinner to the dash out the front door, took place between 4:10 and 5 a.m., right before my alarm went off. I woke up in a cold sweat, heart pounding, the taste of dread still in my mouth. Not your typical Freaky Friday story, I know, but it was the freakiest Monday morning I've had in a long time.
Dude, dreams like that where you're like, well, that was real life that I just was experiencing. And then you wake up and you're like, oh, well, I'm 100% sure I was just watching the news about these people who I almost rented an apartment from. And now you're telling me it's Monday and I have to go to work. What?
You can't ever rent an apartment from anyone that is an old couple, even if they're not named Paul and Betty. Like, this is such a detailed,
specific.
Like, rarely do people have dreams that like have a beginning, middle, and end, and they're all cohesive. Like, you could write a book about it afterwards. And this is like, you knew all the details, and something that sadly could happen. It's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Those types of stories are the ones that get me the most.
Yeah, especially when it's like they seemed like a nice couple from all stories. Like, they were beloved by their neighbors and members of their church. Yeah, something like this, though, where you're just 100% sure it happened, or almost like you're living a second life or something, makes you wonder, man, if you're like dipping your toe into a alternate timeline, or your brain's just real creative.
Well, I'm glad you got out of there, whatever it was.
Yeah, you didn't eat the meat.
Horrifying. Yeah, so gross. Oh, I feel like it reminds me of oh man, there's like a series of them. It's Pearl. They're those A24 film. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And one of them involves being out on the farm and kind of this type of vibe.
Anything of like things getting fed to people that they don't know. I mean, you trace back to the where my brain always goes is Scott Tenorman, but like on South Park where Cartman feeds his own parents to him, and like that, just the idea that you like someone's like prepared a meal for you, and they're like, just here's your food from the oven. That always
Hannibal
gets
Lecter
me.
Style. I never saw that episode of South Park. Who's Scott Tenorman?
He was a character in South Park.
I thought maybe that
another
was
boy.
a real life person.
No, it's a South Park. Sinisterhood. We'll be right back.
Millions of Americans grind or clench their teeth at night, and most don't even know they're doing it, and I am one of them. I have TMJ. Oof. I will wake up in the morning just like, oh, yeah, like I've been just chewing on HDMI cables or something all night, just like... But with Remy and the mouth guard, I don't have to worry about that anymore because they know what they're doing over there at Remy.
Hell yeah, they can protect from the damage that causes.
Yes.
If you have jaw pain or headaches after a night's sleep, there's a high chance you grind or clench your teeth. Teeth grinding, also known as bruxism or TMJ, is generally caused by stress, and it can cause serious damage such as eroding away your enamel or broken teeth, which leads to expensive dental bills.
The solution to protecting your teeth is a mouth guard, but mouth guards from the dentist can cost you around $500 to $800. The good news is that there's Remy. Remy makes dental grade, professional quality mouth guards without the painful price tag. They're up to 80% cheaper than what you'd pay at the dentist and don't require you to visit a dental office.
Remy's process is simple. They send you an at-home impression kit to create molds of your teeth. You send those back to Remy, and Remy's dental team will make your custom-fit guards and send them right back to you. Remy's guards are so comfortable to wear that most customers forget they're even wearing them. Plus, with a 45-night satisfaction guarantee, you can try it risk-free, sleep better, and decide if it's the perfect fit. If not, Remy's got you covered. It truly could not be easier. They give you every step with pictures, with help if you need it. You can message them and they can help walk you through it. It does not take but a couple of seconds to send it off. They send it back so fast. And it really, it's your teeth. It's fit just for you. And it feels so comfortable and really helps protect from that damage.
You don't have to go into the dentist's office, which one, you're going to pay for that visit and you got to make an appointment and try to get in. It's just so much more convenient. I did mine at like midnight and then, I can't go to the dentist at midnight. I've tried and they were like, ma'am, get out.
The store is locked.
It's so easy. And when you have migraines every morning, it makes such a world of difference. Tommy had been using a mouth guard, not a Remy one. Now we've got him on the Remy one. And it always just said, I don't know how I slept before this. And now I'm the same way.
Hell yeah. Enjoy.
No waiting rooms, no overpriced bills, just a better way to protect your teeth while you sleep.
Try Remy risk-free at shopremy.com/sinister and use code sinister to get up to 50% off your night guard at checkout. That's 50% off at shopremi.com/sinister with code sinister. Thank you, Remy, for sponsoring this episode.
Speaking of things you don't want to eat, this next one is from B, and it's called Feminine Rage, Male Fragility, and a Turd in the Punch Bowl.
Oh, no.
Hi, ladies. Long-time listener here. I just want to start by saying how much I appreciate the range of episodes you put out. I have a huge soft spot for your cryptid-focused ones. Few things get me through the workday like monsters and myth. But today, I'm writing in with some deep, well-earned feminine rage that needs airing out. I work in a male-dominated industry. Not my first, and likely not my last. I recently separated from the military after 10 years. It was a bittersweet goodbye. Love the monkeys, hate the circus, if you know what I mean. And after a decade in uniform, I'm no stranger to men who benefit from deeply entrenched power structures. Rank doesn't make a leader, never has. Now in the civilian world, I work in a similar field, and to put it mildly, it's been inconsistent. We typically work in conjunction with other companies, whether it's a lease situation or a one-off contract. I tend to see the same problems: communication issues, pay issues, and plenty of ego. Last week, I went to pick up a check from a company we've been working with for over a year. The man I was getting it from is one of their higher-ups. On paper, he and I are equals. In reality, he's the kind of guy who probably thinks women should still be taking notes in meetings and not running companies. You know the type. When he handed me the check, he made a comment that my boss wouldn't be happy with the amount. I asked if it was short again, as it had been for several weeks. He shrugged and said he didn't know because he'd been out of the office, despite being back for a full week. I told him that wasn't an excuse. I send weekly recaps of outstanding invoices, because when I joined, they couldn't track their own payments. He offered to talk to my boss, and I told him that wouldn't be necessary, as I had already sent all required information to his inbox at the beginning of the week, and I have the authority to speak on behalf of the company. I asked what the next step would be. He had no answer. So I followed up with a professional email summarizing the interaction and requesting a plan. No response. I CC'd the company owner too. Not because I expect much from him, but because I believe in creating a record. Come Monday, I sent my usual weekly financial summary. I again noted the unresolved underpayment. Still, no response. Then this morning, 2 days after that second email, my boss forwarded me a message from this man. He's requesting a meeting due to, quote, bad blood, and said my aggressiveness has gone over as well as a turd in a punch bowl. Yes, a grown man sent that to another grown man because a woman asked him for accountability. And here we are again. Not professional, not assertive, not competent, aggressive. And when that word comes from someone like him, it tells me everything I need to know. It's not about what I said. It's about who said it. It wasn't the content of my questions that upset him. It was the fact that I dared to ask them without asking for permission first. If a man had said the same thing in the same tone, he'd be called sharp, efficient, leadership material. But when a woman speaks plainly and holds people accountable, we're labeled difficult, threatening, a turd in a punch bowl, apparently. It's not leadership, it's ego. What he calls aggression is just competence without apology. What he calls confrontation is simply me refusing to kiss the ring of his self-importance. And the thing is, he's not even unique. I've met this man a dozen times over in different jobs, in different rooms, wearing different titles. These are the men who believe leadership should look like them, male, dominant, and unquestioned. And when it doesn't, they crumble. But I'm not here to coddle that insecurity. I'm not here to manage fragile egos. I'm here to run a business. I owe no one soft language. What I owe is accountability and results. This is the exhausting double standard. When men take charge, they're admired. When women do it, we're too much. But we're not too much. We're just no longer willing to play small to protect someone else's sense of control. So thank you for giving space to these conversations, because it's not just one comment. It's a pattern, one that keeps women second-guessing themselves for doing their jobs well. And it's time we stopped tolerating it.
There were so many bars dropped in this. I can't even quote them all back.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to rewind it.
Oh, I know. I read it several times already because of that too.
Drop the mic, B. Drop the mic.
What he calls aggression is just competence without apology. What he calls confrontation is simply me refusing to kiss the ring of his self-importance. God, please send this directly to him and CC the whole company and CC us. Sinisterhood podcast@gmail.com.
We would like to be looped
CC us.
Yeah, we want to be looped in on the chain, though.
Yeah. Just be CC
all.
because I just want to see what's going on. But fuck this guy.
We want the tea.
And I mean, he's, like you said, he's not unique. And that is a sick burn, and also the reality. Like, these types of men exist everywhere. One, the audacity that you think you can just, like, not pay the people you've worked with.
That's crazy.
Is insane. And then it's like, I'll talk to your boss, little lady. What are you talking about? I'm here to do my job. What year is this?
People like this, I mean, there's no real great way to deal with them because they are, like you said, let's state this plainly. I'm so confused. A lot of times with guys too, like this, it's easy to be like, so just to be clear, your failure to pay your invoice is my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just be, but then of course it's like, she's being so difficult for saying that or whatever. But just somebody like this.
Turd in a punch
First
bowl.
of all, that's a great phrase.
Love it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Applicable.
It's not allowed to be used like this.
No, tell him he's not. As two Texans were rescinding his use of that word, he's actually not allowed to use that phrase anymore because he used it incorrectly. I would encourage you, B, to change your email signature to bad B at the end because you are a bad B. I mean, seriously, for just being like, I'm not backing down.
Yeah.
I read something recently that was so like cracked open my thinking. I didn't even think about it. But the idea that in so many different patriarchal spaces, women are repeatedly told to do things that are against our nature, which is to say not hold a leadership position, back down, be secondary to men, whatever. And it's someone was like, if you're repeatedly having to tell us to do these things, that means that naturally we're not supposed to be doing them. That we're like naturally leaders. Yeah. We're naturally spoken up, and you have to beat it out of us, literally or emotionally. And that shows that we're actually just acting in accordance with our nature when we're not going, hi, Bill, just checking in on the invoice. I hope you're having a great week. If it's like, please see attached invoice and inform me when payment will be made. And it's like, she's a real bitch. And it's like, if you got the same thing and it was signed Jerry at the bottom, like, I don't think people would man Jerry.
No, I think Jerry probably would have gotten a check recut on the spot that was for the full amount.
Right. But somehow when it's like, oh, I'll get around her. And then it's whenever his manipulation doesn't work, he's all pissed off and is like, and it's like, you're just mad because you're a double failure because you failed to pay your bills, you broke ass. And also you failed to manipulate me because you're not as smart as me.
No, you're embarrassing. I always think about the animal kingdom and how so many, it's just a matriarchal society. And then you get to humans and it's like, shouldn't we be? But because we know what sexism and classism and racism and everything is, it turns, elephants don't have that. So they just listen to their instincts and do what is best for their community.
Exactly. So I think unlearning all that shit and going back to our feral nature is what I think is going to, the planet will heal itself.
I'm fucking feral. I'm having a hot feral summer.
Same. I've been getting on this algorithm where it's just women fighting back, and it's like a guy came to a woman's door wanting to attack her, and she just came out and was like, give me your phone, like, give me your fucking phone and give me your ID. And he's like, she's like, give me your ID. And he's like, okay. And you just watch it. Like, she completely takes charge. Another girl was getting attacked in a gym and was like putting space between herself and the attacker and like drop kicking him. I'm just seeing a lot more of these videos where it's like, oh, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, just kicking the shit out of dudes all the time. And I'm not saying go start fights, but I have no problem finishing them.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
It's crazy. We're just like done. Like, no,
I'll start a fight. I will also finish them.
Yeah,
but if I see a fight that needs to be started, I will start it. I'm not going to start it in bail. I'll start it and stay to fight. But
no, truly.
Yeah. Like,
we're done. We're done.
And like, I keep telling myself, like, and this isn't some like vigilante, everybody grab their arms, but no one's coming to save us. So like, you find yourself in a situation where you're like, I'm going to have to beat the shit out of this guy, then beat the shit out of that guy.
Yeah, self-defense classes, whatever you got to do. But like you said, and starting fights, if you need to, you should. There was a woman that was at she had on a Buffalo Bills shirt and she was talking about the Bills Mafia. But she and her family were just like having lunch at like an Applebee's-esque place, like a Chili's kind of, but it also served alcohol. And her 16-year-old sister was with her. And a man came up to another woman at the table and was like, what's her deal? Talking about the 16-year-old. And the friend said, well, she's 16. And he's like, oh, it doesn't matter. She's hot, blah, blah, blah. So the older sister was like, got off her stool and was like, get the fuck away from my little sister. She's fucking 16. You're a pedophile. You're fucking nasty. And he's like, you're such an F and C word. Like, you know, kind of going back on her. I'm like, you are the one hitting on a child.
Yeah,
and yet this girl defending her sister is like the monster. But a random guy like walked in and was like, is everything okay? Like, so you can see like the crowd was obviously against the pedophile. But to watch that woman she was like, I don't give a fuck. And she's like, guess what? I married a man who loves me just like this. And she said, I will not come down. I will not shut up. And I will stand the fuck up, especially if it's my sister. I was like,
nice.
Go, girl.
Was there a reason the Buffalo Bills came into play?
It was very like Bills Mafia because it was a Buffalo Bills. Like she was like, I felt so supported by my fellow Bills fans because she's like, they were like she felt like she could stand up and do that because she's like, I feel like it's a crew that would have, if a guy's going to like hit me. And she's like, I was willing to take a punch for my sister because I don't want some old man like creeping on my sister. And anytime I hear badass big sisters, I'm like, you, Shannon, like the world is protected by badass big sisters for sure.
Well, it's not a easy role all the time.
No, certainly.
You're the first one, so you get blamed for a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, we're very tough. We've had to survive a lot.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Well, shout out to you for sticking with it, B. You are a bad B.
Mm-hmm.
Sinisterhood will be right back. Well, this next one is from Kay, and the subject line, is true crime or poo crime.
Oh, you tell me.
Hell yeah. Hi, Sinister ladies. Love your podcast, your sense of humor, and all the spooky, crazy, sinister topics you cover each week. The multi-part coverage of Siegfried and Roy made me laugh, cry, and briefly consider going to the zoo to see if I had a special connection with the tigers. You also really do have the best community of listeners. I came to one of your Full Moon Energy live shows in July of 2023 and was so nervous to go by myself. But everyone I met that night was so kind and welcoming. I had a great time and got to share some laughs with people who like the same weird stuff I do. This is the story of one of the wildest things that has ever happened to me. I haven't really told a lot of people about what happened, but a few people I worked with at the time might know about it. For this story, we will just use my first initial, K. When I was in my early 20s, I was working at an after-school childcare program that operated in an elementary school. We did homework help, played board games, and took the kids to play in the playground or gym. Life was good, as it was a fairly easy job, and I was friendly with my coworkers. It was also a convenient work schedule for me, since I was going for my master's degree and I was able to work around my classes. During this time, I had a long-term boyfriend that I had dated all through college, that I was sure was the guy I would marry. He was my first serious boyfriend, LOL. But the first day I started the after-school job, I met my coworker, M. M introduced himself and helped me find where I was supposed to go. I was immediately taken in by his gorgeous, intense, dark eyes. He was tall, athletic, and handsome, and I had a crush on him right away. like a Tex Avery, hard eyes popping out of my head, ooga kind of crush. But since I already had a boyfriend, I was determined to ignore the crush and keep things professional. We got to know each other a bit at work, and he was always friendly and thoughtful toward me. Sometimes he would save me a bag of the snacks that we gave to the kids, and we would often find ourselves playing games with the same groups of kids. We bonded over our favorite TV show and talked often. Like all elementary schools, this one had student bathrooms and separate staff bathrooms. The 2 staff bathrooms were both one-seaters, one for men and one for women. The majority of staff were women, so it was an unwritten rule that staff of any gender could use either bathroom, because when you gotta go, you gotta go. One day, I desperately needed to use the bathroom at work. I had been in a hurry to get there that day and had not had time to stop off at home and use the bathroom there. But no problem, because in my 20s, I was one of those people who could go anywhere. I was an opportunistic shitter. Public bathroom, train station, at work, no problem. I dropped the kids off at the pool, took the Browns to the Super Bowl, and grew a tail whenever and wherever. I'm in my 30s now, and post-COVID, I am exclusively a home pooper. During work from home times, I got too used to using my own bathroom, never regained my free-spirited potty habits. I miss the freedom. But on this fateful day, I was taking care of business with abandon in one of the staff bathrooms. I did what I needed to do, but when I opened the door to leave, there was my crush, M. Internally, I was panicking, but I decided to play it cool and walk out like nothing had happened and my shit didn't stink. I walked away briskly back to my group of kids, praying that somehow he would have a bad cold and not be able to smell. About 5 minutes later, M came into the room where my group was doing homework. His face was deadly serious, eyebrows knit, and he asked me to step out into the hallway for a second. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Did I clog the toilet? Christy, Heather, Sinisterhood listeners, McGruff the crime dog. Yeah, baby. It was actually worse. He had seen a red light glowing from a small hole in the drop tile ceiling above the toilet. And when he reached up into the ceiling to investigate, he pulled out a cell phone with a camera recording a live stream. Someone watched me change my tampon and take a shit in real time. M had immediately taken the phone to our boss, who called the police. Our boss asked M not to say anything to anyone, but being a stand-up kind of guy, M had said, fuck that, and came to find me because he felt I had a right to know. The phone was traced to its owner pretty quickly. An IT support worker who had hours of footage of female staff, regular school staff, and the after-school staff all using the bathroom. There was also footage of this guy walking around with his camera on, trying to record video of women's skirts. Because of our unwritten rule about male and female staff using either bathroom, he would have also have had footage of some male staff in the bathroom as well. He was arrested, and M was called to testify in front of a jury about how he had found the camera. He was understandably embarrassed to have to share such a personal story, but I got to see him in his suit before I went to court, and damn, he looked good. The guy was fired and got what amounted to a slap on the wrist. Probation, I think, but very little, if any, jail time since he had no priors, and technically he didn't harm anyone. I've always been bothered by this, that this creep invaded privacy of every person, male or female, that used the bathroom during what should have been a very private moment. I believe he thought no one would ever find out and that he would get to feel like he had this gross little secret that he knew what people were doing in the bathroom. There is a happy ending to the story of POO CRIME. Not too long after the whole incident, I broke up with my boyfriend when it became clear that we wanted different things out of life. And a little less than a year later, Em and I started dating. Turns out he had the same kind of auga crush on me all along. We are now married and have been together for over a decade. We still occasionally talk about this story, but now we can laugh about it. Attached are pics for your eyes only of my husband and I and our little angel baby cat. The three of us get to share this life together, all because of some fucking weirdo recording me taking a shit. Life is crazy. Love you, ladies, and always check the bathroom before you sit.
Oh my God. There are so many layers of I will never recover from this if this happened to me.
Let's just start off with the fact that he's hunky. This is a hot hunk that you work with.
Respectfully, ma'am. You got a good-looking husband. And you are as well gorgeous.
You're like a model. Yes, you're a gorgeous model.
You're a great-looking couple.
You look like you'd be the stars on a sitcom of like a will they, won't they get together.
Yeah, it's like your classier Love Island contestants.
Yes, you are gorgeous. So the thought of me taking a nasty one, opening the door and a hot hunk like your husband or mine, and is like, I'm just going to go in and then after you. And I'm like, no, you can't. I would just push him down, knock him unconscious, do something. But in this case, I'm glad you did it because, oh my God, what a hero.
Yeah.
That he was like, hang on a minute. And then this is also why you got to marry this guy. You already did. Good job 10 years later. But if a man just goes in there, sees a red light and is like, I don't know, and then just does his business and leaves versus one that's like, the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And then uses his athleticness to get up there and get it down. Like, hero.
Dude, imagine you push that back and you pull out a cell phone. It becomes super real. And then
that's horrifying.
It's not just recording, it's live streaming. And you know what you just did in that bathroom.
Fuck.
Also, whoever is watching that live stream realizes, fuck.
You see his face.
Somebody just found this camera. Yeah.
They're like, in stream, off.
Dude, so fucking gross. This is a low-key fear of mine, traveling or Airbnbs. Like, and I've watched things on, like, you shine something at the mirror to see if it's, like, and, you know, the shower heads is a big one. Up in ceilings like that.
Inside of toilets looking out, which I'm like, dude, you don't want to see that. Here's the deal. I don't know what you're into. I don't know what you're into, but you don't want to see that. You do not want to see that.
Oh, man. It's God so almighty. Invasive, like you said. And it's always reminds me of this documentary / docudrama, but it was a real story about this man who bought a hotel. I think we've talked about it before.
The Voyeur Hotel?
Which one?
It's called Voyeur?
Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
And he put cameras in all the rooms and then had a big control center and watched them all.
And he would go and like lurk above the room sometimes too. That was that movie. It's real. That documentary fucked me up.
Yeah,
like
it's fucked up.
I see it like a memory in my head. It was so scary. Yeah, any of the voyeuristic, like feel like you're filming kind of stuff really, or it makes me feel, I mean, to the point that on my laptop, I have one of those little things that you stick on it and you like move the thing over to like block the camera. Cause I'm like, I'm not having you turn my camera on when I'm just like, streaming or my phone. I'm like, I'm gonna put something over my phone. I don't want it to see what I'm doing because it knows how close your face is to your phone. I know because I had to turn the thing off that was like, your phone's too close to your face. I'm like, mind your business, Apple. I'm trying to see. I don't wear my glasses. I'm trying to see. But being watched.
And we all take our phones into the bathroom. So, you know.
Don't act like you don't. You know, we all do.
No. Yeah, I got to get myself one of those things to put over the camera too.
Post-it notes work as well. So,
that's true.
But
you can do
just
that.
As easily. But I think you summed it up there at the end, Kay, with the Elmo meme that she also included, which is boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time. So shout out if you're listening to us while you're pooping on the clock. Like, you know what? Just take a few extra seconds and just like after you're done and just breathe a little bit more. And if they try to ask you questions about it
first, and then
definitely that.
Maybe exit the bathroom and then take a deep breath.
Just tell everybody that you were still in the bathroom, and it's always a good excuse. They can't yell at you if you're in the bathroom.
Well, I hate that man didn't get more of a punishment. And we've said so many times it's that, well, he didn't really harm anyone. The fuck he didn't.
For real.
Like,
for real.
You're going to have anxiety about like going into places like that, checking shit. Like, you don't have to be harmed physically to be harmed. In fact, emotional harm is often harder to get over than physical harm.
For sure. And something like invasion of privacy is a door you can't shut, like a metaphorical door you can't shut. So the idea that someone taking upskirts or someone taking images of you on the toilet is not harmful, then why is there a law against it?
Yeah.
So you riddle me this, officer.
I saw a TikTok the other day, speaking of women that are like, I'm fucking done, who was filming a guy that clearly had a setup. It was like in the subway station down by his, you know, he was like holding the bag and you could see from the bag like his phone or a camera there. And she was like, just heads up, this guy is trying to take upskirt videos of everybody. I'm like, yeah, shame everybody. I would back for public shaming. I just want to say I'm a huge fan of the CEO getting called out. If you want to cheat on your fucking wife and you get called out at a Coldplay concert, that's only your fault, buddy.
Yeah.
You know?
We don't feel bad for you because you publicly did a bad thing.
No.
And it's like, I don't want the consequences of this bad thing to come back to me. Then do it quieter and be better and don't get caught.
Yeah.
Or because we all saw.
Don't do it at all and just get a divorce if you're unhappy. Both of you.
Yeah. Both of y'all act right. Oh, goddamn. Well, like you said, if you see somebody taking upskirts video on the subway, just pour a milkshake on them. I don't know. Like, that's the kind of thing.
Put
like,
them
oops,
film them.
Stepped on your phone. Whoops.
Film everybody. Like, and there was it wasn't a commercial, but like a PSA type of thing that was like that too on the subway where like this guy was saying a bunch of shitty things to this girl. And then he realized the girl was like filming him. Then he saw like this other lady was filming and then this other lady. And she's like, I'm actually on Facebook Live right now. And if you're watching this, our next stop is XYZ. It was a commercial like PSA thing, but I was like, this is what I'm trying to get into.
That's why I was like, no, it's all of us. Like you, and that means the monster assholes. And it's like, we're each other's keepers, y'all.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm about to be viral and it's going to be for some shit like that.
For real. Viral and feral. That's what's happening in August, probably.
Coming to you soon. What will it be? Surprise for all of us. Well, thank you very much for sending that in to us, Kay, and make sure that send our regards to your hunk hero husband as well.
Yes, and truly, I'm glad it all worked out, and what a story too,
right?
to have
to testify,
and I just mean like, and how'd y'all meet? And you're like, we worked together. But then we really got close after this incident. Because
the police told him to keep secrets from me. And he was like,
good for you. No.
Also, that's another reason why I would marry him too. Because I'm like, you take our bond is more important than even law enforcement directives.
Always.
Very nice. Well, thank you. Sinisterhood will be right back. This next one is from Casey, and the subject line is, were they alien visits? Hey there, all. I'm sending in all the praises for a wonderful show, and thanks for the laughs, cries, and words of encouragement. I'm going to jump right into it. I'm Casey, and when I was 9, my dad started working at an Air Force base. I'm not going to name it. That was an hour and a half away. He drove back and forth 5 to 6 days a week for 11 years. He isn't military, but his work had a contract with them. I still have his badge from that time, and there were only 2 buildings on that particular section of the base that he was not allowed in. My dad was a huge History Channel watcher, and at 9 years old, I hated it. It was so boring to watch. But about 5 to 6 months after he started working at the base, his TV interest changed to anything alien-related. I never thought much about it until I got older. One night, when I was 10, I was woken up by a really loud, constant, monotone sound, almost like a deep humming in one note. I always kept my bedroom door open about 6 inches so my cat could come and go as she pleased. My bedroom was the first door in the hallway from the living room, so from my door, I could see almost the whole living room. When this loud humming woke me, I noticed a blue light coming in from the cracked door. I figured my dad just fell asleep in his chair again, and the TV station was done broadcasting, and the TV screen turned blue, like they used to do. Maybe the volume on the TV was super loud. Got out of bed, walked to my door, and pulled it open. I took 2 steps out and could see my dad's chair was empty. So I looked down the hall to my parents' bedroom, and that door was closed, meaning both parents were in there. The blue light was intense. I looked back to the living room and took 2 more steps toward it. The deep, monotone hum was still going on. It never stopped or changed. On the wall that I was facing, we had a fireplace in the middle and 2 rectangular windows, one on either side of it. This powerful blue light was coming in both windows. I mean, it was so powerful that the light kept the rectangular shape all the way into the house. My sleepy 10-year-old brain was trying to make sense of what I was seeing and hearing. I thought that maybe it was police cars outside, but realized the light was not blinking. All of a sudden, I just got so scared. My heart started to race, my hands got sweaty, and my eyes were darting back and forth. I quickly went back to my room and shut the door. I had no clue where my cat Mittens was. She always slept in my bed. I jumped in my bed and covered my head with my blankets and pillow. Why didn't I go to my parents' room? I have no clue. I was so scared to even move, and my bedroom was the closest thing. And I guess I figured my blankets would keep me safe. My brother always told me that if his blanket was over his head, that it protected him when I hit him in the head with our plastic hollow bat. So I must be safe, right? The hum was still going on. It was so loud and sounded like it was literally right above my head. I started yelling, "Go away! Leave me alone!" over and over and over from under my blankets for what seemed like forever. I don't know how, but I fell back asleep. When I woke in the morning, all was back to normal. My bedroom door was cracked open like usual. I got up and went into the kitchen, and Mom asked why I'd closed the door. She had to open it to let Mittens out. I told her about what happened, and she looked at me and said, "You must have been dreaming." I told her, "No, it happened." But she didn't believe me. Even though my door was closed, she said I must have done it in my sleep. I didn't mention it again because she didn't believe me. And because of that, I never told my dad. I didn't think he would believe me either. I've never forgotten this incident. I remember it like it was yesterday, and it's been over 35 years since it happened. We lost my dad back in 2014, and I wish I had said something to him. About 6 months ago, I told my mom again about the experience, and she asked why I never told her. I said to her that I did, but she didn't believe me. She actually apologized to me and told me something that had happened to my dad. One night, he had been driving to his parents' house that was kind of out in the country and had a long stretch of just dirt and no buildings. It was evening and getting dark when he was out there. I guess Dad was the only vehicle on the road, and all of a sudden, there was a powerful blue light shining on his truck like a helicopter spotlight. But he told my mom it was quiet, no helicopters. The light followed him almost all the way to my grandparents' house and then just disappeared. Mom said me telling her about the blue light in the living room reminded her of that. I'm in complete shock. This was the first time I'd ever heard of that happening. What is with the blue light? What was that loud monotone noise? Was this an alien visit? I don't know. I wish I had talked to my dad about all this. I may have some answers. What did he see at that Air Force base that changed him? I'll never know. So, what do we think? Casey.
Oh, Casey. I think the biggest clue here is that he started getting really into alien stuff after having worked there.
And that it's a naval base, which, according to all the insiders, the Navy sort of after Roswell took over anything that was extraterrestrial and stuff.
Well,
especially
it's the water.
Well, that too. Dun, dun, dun. And they took over that, and a lot of the contractors became a part of it. So depending on what contractor your dad worked for, and the fact that he had super clearance that he could pretty much get into any building on base, that gets to be the point where you're like, well, now I have to just go home and eat spaghetti with my family when I saw an alien body today. Yeah. And then you're like, just leave me with my programs.
You hear rumblings or you see some emails. I don't know.
Something.
Or the History Channel. Maybe it was when it went from actual history to Nessie and let's capture Bigfoot, because that's all it shows now. Right. But, maybe it's a coincidence, but it seems like a strange one. And as does the blue light. I mean, I believe anything. Nothing surprises me anymore. You know what I mean? Things are so fucking crazy that if you were like, yeah, an alien came down and shined a blue light in my house last night, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's wild.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
They fuck up your lawn or everything's cool. They're nice. They look national park rules. You can come visit me. Just leave everything as you found it. Leave it nicer than you found it. But I mean, if you've read UFO of God by Chris Bledsoe, the orbs in that follow the car. That's what he says happens. Or when they come visit, just sort of come visit and sit. So it's orbish, and they emit light, and they emit various types of light. So he and others in the community think that certain lights mean or can maybe do certain things to your body or whatever. But it sounds like that didn't last long at your house to where it was it's going to burn the windows out or hurt anybody. It's just like a weird visitation. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it liked your dad and it was just following him around. It's like a puppy following him home.
Maybe.
Take me home from the Air Force Base. They're keeping me locked up there.
And he's trying to learn more about his buddy by watching History Channel documentaries.
I'll solve it, buddy. Let me just one more episode. I'm going to take you home with me. Well, Casey, I'm sorry about the loss of your dad, but stories like what your mom have, I mean, it sounds like the two of you had some type of similar connection.
Yeah, you sure did. And who knows what goes on at those bases. I mean,
For real.
Most people don't because they've got protocol in place that prevents us for there's some reason for it.
Yeah. Unless you have an ID badge to swipe in, you're not going to know. So, damn, thank you, Casey. And if anybody listens had a weird-ass blue light, follow them or shine in their window right in, especially if
we've
there's
had
a hum.
several and of orbs visiting and like kind of just following, especially while driving. Why hasn't it happened to me? Rude.
You got to go out and call them down. That's what they say.
Yeah, I'm not driving along enough country roads at night is what the problem is. I live in the city, so
it's a lot of light pollution.
There's so much light pollution that I wouldn't even know if I was looking at a UAP.
And if there was like a humming, it would be drowned out by sirens and helicopters.
Yeah.
So it's like, the alien's like, excuse me, I visited you several times and you did not acknowledge me. It's like, we were laughing on the porch.
Sorry. I did not know that was you. I thought that was the 24/7 alarm that goes off in the parking lot at the CVS over here because it gets broken into so much that they have to do that at night now.
It is a wild time. Well, thank you, Casey. And I think you saw some. I don't know.
You know, I'm not going to say you didn't.
Goddamn. Sinisterhood will be right back. Well, this final one is from Rennie, and the subject line is Crime Wave at Sea Bubble Room Story. Hi, ladies. You are truly one of my favorite podcasts. From the range of stories to the legal knowledge to just the right amount of personal tales, not to mention your apparent friendship that makes it so wonderful to listen to. I've lost count on how many people I've recommended this show to. Thanks for being you. Now on to the story. My BFF Ryan and I have known each other for 11 years. I had only known them for a few months before they moved into my house, and we'd only been roommates for a few more months before we decided to embark on an 8-hour road trip. That's a lot of time to spend with someone you don't know that well, but I could tell we were destined to be friends. When you know, you know. Since then, road trips and true crime podcasts feature heavily into our friendship. So when Crime Wave at Sea was announced, I knew it would be the perfect birthday present, especially since I knew this year was going to be tough for them. So, with encouragement from my amazing husband, seriously, he's staying home while I go on a cruise during our wedding anniversary, most selfless man ever, I purchased the tickets. But of course, I couldn't just hand them over. I had to do something fun. So I devised a scavenger hunt. After a couple months of off and on planning, I finally got it all worked out. I roped in a couple of local businesses and even got a librarian on board. I photoshopped some tickets, bought some cruise-themed presents, and wrote my clues. I was ready. As fate would have it, I was actually in their apartment alone the day before the hunt went down. I hid the tickets beneath some boxes under their sink that I knew they wouldn't look at in the next 24 hours, because my final clue was, where did they find Charles Manson hiding when they arrested him? The scavenger hunt would go like this. Ryan and I would go to the local peddler's mall to search for cute things. Meanwhile, my husband, again so selfless, would put a note on their car telling them to follow any clues they might receive during the day. Then they'd get a text from the local library saying the book they'd placed on hold was ready to pick up. Inside the book, which was a kid's book about the Bermuda Triangle, they'd find the next clue, then to the next couple more places before heading back to their apartment. I was not confident in my ability to not crack immediately, but I was willing to try. Well, I'm sure y'all have guessed what happened next, but I'll tell you anyway. An hour before we were supposed to go to the mall, I get a text from Ryan that says, "Excuse me, what is this?" with a picture of the tickets. All my planning ruined. All my stress for nothing. But hey, at the end of the day, my bestie and I will be in the Bahamas hanging out on the Lido deck with some of our favorite podcasters. So, no actual complaints here. Love y'all bunches. Can't wait to discover new cryptids on the sea with you. The end.
Oh, Rennie, I love it.
Aww,
what a
incredible.
fun way to unveil a kick-ass present, by the way.
It's such a good gift.
Not to even plug Crime Wave at Sea 2025, but like to buy any cruise for your friend. And the ticket is very fun. It's stateroom 666.
Hell yes.
You went to so much trouble to print this out. I'm so sorry that for whatever reason, they looked under the sink the one time they wouldn't otherwise.
They were like, hang on a minute, but I do hope that the real Crime Wave at Sea tickets say, "We're going, bitch. Bermuda Triangle, goodbye forever." I laughed so hard when I saw this ticket. It's incredible.
Oh, I love it.
Goddamn. Well, we can't wait. We'll meet you guys both on the ship. But yeah, when you're like, okay, they're never going to guess it. And then before it can even begin.
Dude, but shout out to your husband for real for
Yes.
being so supportive, but also to you for like, that is not just a scavenger hunt. You've involved the city. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's
The
that's a
librarians
lot.
involved.
That's
right?
a lot
This
of thought that goes into it. And I did not know, and I just Googled it, that Manson was found hiding under the bathroom sink at the Barker Ranch in Death Valley when he was arrested.
I didn't know that.
There you
but
go.
Now,
But
maybe
now
Ryan
they
would've
would
known.
have. So I like that the clues were like, you know, true crime, cryptid, whatever related.
Adjacent.
It's the Bermuda Triangle. That's a very fun thing to, and I would be like, my book is ready. What is this? What a fun day. I'm so sorry they found them. But really, like you said, the fun part is, or the best part is that we get to hang out with y'all on the Lido deck.
It's going to be fun, baby. We are going to find some new cryptids in the ocean for sure.
Yeah.
But,
We're
man,
in
I want-
2025. If anybody listening wants to go, sinisterhood.com/ nope, that's not it. If
I got
anybody wants to go, where can they find out information?
You can go to crimewaveatsea.com/sinister or go to our website. There's more info on that. But you get your fan code, and from the fan code, the fan codes are free. Anybody can get a fan code, and then that's your entree into the booking pages and whatnot, as well as like info that they text you. So go to crimewaveatsea.com/sinister. And yeah, we'll see Ryan and Rennie on board. We can't wait to call down the orbs to us all together. I think our powers combined. The orbs won't come to just me or you, but once we add Henry, Ed, we had Scared to Death, we had True Crime Campfire, we had all of y'all too, and we encircle hands. Now, will the other attendees be like, what is this humming, moaning sounds that they're all making? Fuck off. You guys aren't part of this.
Well, then they don't get to go on the ship. And
Exactly.
I don't mean the cruise ship.
No.
I mean the ship that's going to either take us up or down, maybe
one
both.
or the other. But it's a ship-to-ship transfer, and it's going on from the wonderful Royal Caribbean to a USO, unidentified submersible.
I love it.
So
I love
buckle
this ticket. I'm just looking at it like, this was so thoughtful. It reminds me of when you gave me Justin Bieber tickets,
Yes.
and it was COVID, so you couldn't give them to me in person. And so
That's right.
it was a little riddle and stuff I had to put together to figure out. It was
box.
very fun.
In a wrapped box. That was fun. That was a good show, too.
I love scavenger hunts. As a kid, I loved them. I haven't been on one as an adult, but I want
Me
to.
neither.
I want
Me
to go
too.
on a scavenger hunt.
For real, this is like Ben from Parks and Rec level of like when Leslie did a scavenger hunt for him, like all across the city, and he's like lifting things up, and like she had like hidden things under like products at local stores. I was like, that's the level of scavenger hunt I'm trying to be sent on for real. That's badass.
That is fun.
You're the friend doing it, Rennie, even though Ryan, that's all right. That's just how connected y'all are mentally too, that they're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look under this box.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Goddamn.
But I'm
Good friends.
sure that they were ecstatic to find them. So
Absolutely.
can't wait to meet y'all on the ship November 3rd through 7th. And hopefully we see everyone else that's sending a story today and more.
And the orbs, we're going to bring the orbs from that
Yes.
Casey saw. Bring the orbs to the ship with you.
Well, thanks so much to everyone for sending in your Freaky Friday stories. If you have an odd but true story, maybe you've encountered Bigfoot, you've seen a UFO, you had a brush with true crime, or you felt the presence of an otherworldly being, send them in at sinisterhood.com/Freaky Friday. Speaking of freaky, have you got something creepy you've caught on camera? Found a weird or unexplainable clip online? Maybe you just have a funny video you need us to see. Send it our way and we'll live react to it during Sunday Scaries, our weekly live stream over on Patreon every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Central. It's totally free. It's back this Sunday. We were off for the past 2 Sundays. We're back this Sunday.
Hell yeah.
Very excited. You just go to Patreon, enter your email. You get access to the stream unedited, because once it goes up on YouTube, some of those videos have to be edited or the whole thing gets taken down. And you also get to chat live, be in the chat, which is always fun, and a whole backlog of free stuff just for signing up for Patreon, just to say thanks.
Absolutely. We also have a free trial, so you can join for free for a week at any of the levels. Check out all the perks and cancel anytime without getting charged if you cancel before the trial is over.
Yes.
What all you get on Patreon.
Oh, you get ad-free episodes, monthly live stream Q&As, quarterly live bonus content that you all get to vote on to determine what we're going to talk about, weekly audio bonus content. You get bonus content like Judge Christie, where I rule on petty grievances you bring before the court, true crime headlines, where we break down the latest news and updates in true crime, Heather Saves, where anything Heather has found late night scrolling could be discussed, and Am I the Asshole? Unpopular opinions and other subreddits that we feel require our input. You also get mini-sodes, merch discounts, and like it's already been said, a community of the best listeners on the whole internet.
Head over to Sinisterhood.com, click shop on the top banner, check out merch like t-shirts, mugs, tote stickers, and even clothes for your kiddos.
While you're on our website, you can also review the show and submit topics and cases you'd like us to cover, plus everything for Freaky Friday and Sunday Scaries. You'll also find fun things like topic-based playlists and tickets for Crime Wave at Sea 2025.
Hell yeah. You can follow us on Instagram and Threads at Sinisterhood Pod. Like us on Facebook at Sinisterhood. Follow us on YouTube to get those spike numbers up from Jeff and Jalea. You can also follow us over on TikTok. And there you can see clips from the episodes, live streams, and more. And if you're looking for a unique and personal gift for the Sinisterhood fan in your life, or you want to treat yourself to a pep talk or a little advice, book a cameo now. From happy birthday to birth announcements to congrats on whatever accomplishment, we would love to create a customized video that can be immediately viewed and sent. It's a thoughtful gift. You don't have to get into the hellacious heat if you're here in Texas to go out and get it. And also, it's a unique gift. So if you don't know what to get them and think they might already have something, a unique cameo is different every time. So
Absolutely.
Go to cameo.com/Sinisterhood. Where are you at on the internet?
I'm on Instagram and Threads at Christy M. Wallace and TikTok at Christy or GTFO. Heather?
I'm on the internet at Heather versus the World.
As always, the devil rules the airwaves.
Keep it creepy.
Sinister.